Hey y'all, Davey here. Today is Memorial Day, so I have a little talk that I prepared for y'all. Feel free to stick around if you wish. And I want to just start off by saying that if you're someone who's directly been impacted by war efforts, perhaps have deceased family members or ancestors who've served, I just want to say I wish you a supportive day of grief, healing, and reconciliation, if that's what you need. If you're someone who could benefit from a day of research, perhaps exploration, more understanding of war efforts, perhaps the intentions, the motives, causes at the root of war, perhaps feeling into, trying to see more clearly why wars are started, then I wish you a day of enlightenment in that regard, and it could be a great day of growth for you. Okay, so to begin, since Memorial Day was formed after the Civil War and early observations of the holiday were done by freed African Americans, I want to talk about a person who was instrumental into the Union Army's success in winning the Civil War, and Harriet Tubman, a true freedom fighter, a true liberator. And before I really get into it, I just want to say if I get any details wrong, any facts wrong, rather, feel free to correct me, please, in the comments. Feel free to add any other details you'd like as well. Now, Harriet Tubman was a former slave who escaped slavery in 1849 and gained freedom. Over a decade after, she returned to the South about 13 times and helped in leading over 70 enslaved people to freedom. She later served in the Union Army between 1861 to 1865. And in 1863, she helped execute a plan where they freed over 700 enslaved people. It's called the Combahee River Raid, probably pronouncing that wrong, so forgive me. And this made her the first woman to ever lead a U.S. military operation. Now that is a U.S. military act that I'm proud of. Even though we should not need to have, it's not okay that we even need to have such, mass devastation, mass, deaths in the first place. This is a U.S. war operation that I'm proud of as a U.S. citizen. All right. So, this war claimed more U.S. lives than any other war, and as you probably know, the central reason for this war was it gravitated around slavery. Now, Harriet Tubman was a woman who constantly was divinely guided. She's a woman who constantly turned to a greater power, turned to Source, and asked God to lead her in the right direction. This is a woman who constantly put her life at risk to fight for what she knew was right and to free other people. This is a woman whose acts, to me, I find completely unbelievable, which is so remarkable and inspiring. She constantly defied the odds. She constantly, was led in the right direction, and that is so remarkable. And another thing that inspires me about Harriet Tubman is how she used music as an instrument, as a tool to communicate, lead people, and warn people of danger as well. Using her gospel background, she constantly was communicating through song with encoded messages, and even tweaking and changing the lyrics in songs as a tool, as a true instrument to help lead enslaved people to freedom. And as a musician myself, I find that just like so remarkable and inspiring. Now, when I think of the word hero, I think I have some embedded collective programming that subsequently leads a little sour taste in my mouth, because when I think of hero, the images that pop up are kind of like, think Marvel, like, rooted in patriarchy, typically, like, kind of involve toxically masculine constructs. And so I choose to not use the word hero. Thinking about Harriet Tubman, I see her as a true liberator, someone who has done just unbelievable things, and it's just like such a honor that she existed and walked this planet. So I'm gonna use today to do more research, more understanding, gain more understanding about Harriet, what role she played, and she was a constant. To my understanding, she was also a constant force that redirected the intentions of the Underground Railroad in the right direction. She, when people were getting comfortable by the luxuries they had, other conductors, other members of the Underground Railroad, she was someone who imparted this urgency and reminded them, as someone, directly, as a slave herself, someone directly impacted in the past, of the urgency and the need to rescue these people. And so, Harriet Tubman played an instrumental role in the Union Army's success. And yeah, happy Memorial Day, y'all. Wish y'all a day of growth.